Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a tarot oracle reading for the middle of the month of June. And Aquarius, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Aquarius, we all have a little bit of Aquarius in us somewhere. If you do have your birth chart, which house is Aquarius in, that's where this will show up for you. This is also a timely reading, so if you're watching it at this time, it's the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it's been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. And then there was light. I knew I had forgotten to do something. All right, we have the Fool. So this is the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck is the Fool. This white sun is representing innocence. This person is taking a leap of faith, beginning a new cycle. So this is the underlying energy of the entire reading. This is, very little baggage, but this you do have tattered sleeves here. So this means you've been around the block before. So this is talking about taking what you've learned in the past cycles and bringing that into this new cycle with a fresh start. And then we have, for the underlying energy, for the internal forces, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So Pentacles represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimensional world. This is talking about the energy of health, wealth, and happiness in 3D. And of course, money is a huge part of that, but you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want. So the Pentacles are an element of earth, and this is about earthly matters. We have her hand on 6 pentacles here and 3 over here. This card always reminds me of Nikola Tesla, because he would say, if you knew the beauty of the 369, you would have the key to the universe. And I feel that's what this falcon is representing. And it's she's learned, this is pre-Empress energy, so it's talking about someone who's had enough life experience, ups and downs, to and getting back up and staying in her power as much as possible. So this is talking about pre-Empress energy. The Empress embodies the qualities of all 4 queens from the Minor Arcana due to her life experience and her dedication to continuously improving her performance. In all ways, and she's also considered to be very highly capable of manifesting in the flow. And so this is that energy being represented here. And we have the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is talking about some sort of justice coming in from the spiritual realm down to the earth. The Hierophant is responsible for that. It's about traditional structure. So traditional structure in religion, spirituality, and then bringing that down to earth. So if you're a religious person, this could represent people that are at the top of your church, like popes, cardinals, bishops, rabbis, gurus, whatever your religion is. And then if you're more on the spiritual side, through meditation and prayer, connecting with God, with source energy, and bringing that down to earth. So this is talking the traditional structure of the judicial systems around the planet. And the Hierophant is his job to make sure that he makes sure that happens from the spiritual realm to the physical. So that's the energy for your image right now. So self-image, this is where you feel you're in that Hierophant energy. So this can be saying that you could be a Hierophant, you could be a leader of a church, you could be a leader of a group. This can also speak about, the Hierophant does have his right hand in the form of a blessing. So basically what that is saying is if you're on the right side of spiritual law and physical law, this is going to be a blessing coming in. And if you're on the other side, it's going to be, basically you're being exposed. And this is talking about the 5 of Cups can be representing romantic love. The cups do represent quite often romantic love, but it can also be love of anyone or anything. And it can even be something you love to be or something you love to do. This is talking about regret, remorse. In romantic love, quite often this can be about a third-party energy. We have two cups here that are spilt, and we have with wine, and this one is with another liquid. Quite often that can represent a couple and a third-party energy. We have two cups still standing that this is saying, don't cry over spilt milk. You may have heard of that saying. Saying like once the milk is in the ground, what are you going to do? You're not going to be able to suck it out of the ground, so you just have to accept it as a loss. A lot of people will stay in this energy for a long time if they're, really feeling vulnerable. But the best thing to do is to pick up these two cups, walk down the path with them, appreciate them. You have two cups standing, you have something to work with. Cross the bridge over troubled waters to your castle. And, the castle in the background even looks half dilapidated and half standing. And so this is talking about the energy of, is the glass, what's your attitude? Is the glass half full or is the glass half empty? Attitude can take you a long way when you only have two cups. And death, transition card, this is talking about definite end of a cycle and beginning of another. Death and rebirth, basically. A lot of people are afraid when they see this card. The Grim Reaper is a pretty scary looking guy, but he's really representing this cycle in many cultures, and it's not meant to be someone evil. It's representing death and rebirth. And we do have this flag which represents the light at the end of the tunnel, and we have the this older person is trying to stop the Grim Reaper and barter with him, like, we don't want your change, don't come into town. But what they say, the two things you can rely on are death and taxes and change. And the thing is, though, that we don't really notice change that much, but change is happening every second of every minute of every day. We notice it when it becomes obvious to us, or it upsets us in some way, or we don't want the change, or we really do want the change and we don't get it. So the two young ones here are like, one of them has a flower, and this is representing the bloom for new life. The king has been trampled here, and it's just basically saying that there's some systems which you may have noticed out there that are not working the same way they used to, and it's time for us to maybe reevaluate as humanity and our own individual situations as to what works and what doesn't. That says a lot about the energy of Neptune having moved into the sign of Aries, and that was about a month and a half ago. This from when I'm doing this reading, the Neptune's a very large planet, and it moved from Pisces, which is the Pisces energy is very a senior executive water sign. Someone, it's the very last the sign on the horoscope wheel, and it is representing like more of a emotional, more forgiving, more softer, dreamy perspective on life. How you approach relationships in business, people, money, relationships with everything. And it's been sitting in Pisces Neptune for 14 years, and now here it is. It's moved into the sign of Aries, and that's for the next 14 years. Aries is the newborn infant of the zodiac. Think of a newborn baby that is loud. And, for something so helpless, it sure does have a lot of control. Babies, newborns, have everybody hopping, trying to satisfy their every need. And so that's the energy of that we're in now, is that what used to work, what always worked, what we always could count on, is maybe not working the same way that it used to because of all this new energy. And at the same time that this happened, there was something like 6 planets had moved into the sign of Aries, within that year frame. And when Neptune moved in there, and it really, there's a lot of that new energy out there. So if you're feeling a little bit like things just aren't working like they used to, it's not just you. A lot of people are feeling it, and the best way to approach it is to have a good attitude and take little experiments and just see, okay, if I do it this way, tweak it a little bit, does it improve the situation? And if not, then do another little experiment. If it does work, then you want to double up on that. That might be the better approach for this, because we have to, accept the change, basically. That's what this card is saying. Because Neptune's going to be in the sign of Aries for the next 14 years. So, think about what a baby learns from newborn to 14 years old. It's really irritating at times, because you think you finally figured it out, and then you realize, man, I gotta figure it out again. It's so annoying. It's like when they update your cell phone. It's that type of energy. So the King of Cups energy is talking about, that senior executive watery energy. But the King of Cups is known to be able to have very good control over their emotions. And that's what this is saying. Like, you want to get into this energy. Be like the King of Cups when it comes to controlling your emotions. He's sitting out in a slab of cement here on his throne in the middle of all this very rough water, and rough water in tarot represents volatile emotions and chaos. So he's in the eye of the storm, and he wants to offer a cup of love here, but he's waiting until the opportune time. His right foot is forward, saying, I'm ready to take action, but he's not going to take action until he feels that it's the right time, because he wants to get the right answer. Now, this is talking about early communication from your family. Sometimes this can represent this is your abundance, and this is this is how you're feeling. So you're not feeling that abundant right now, and when you were younger, it just feels like you were maybe feeling like there was a lot of transition in your life. Perhaps, I'm getting that army brat energy, not saying you're a brat, but that's what they call it. It's when you move often, so you're moving a lot of times. And changing, your parents might have had volatile emotional relationships, and they weren't like the king. They weren't able to control it. So you might have had, several step parents, and divorce, and that type of energy. I just feel like there was a lot of transition in your life. And then we have this energy of the Temperance. And this is in your creativity and romance. So, no, it's not. This is in your home and family. So this is about, I feel like you're calm, your emotional foundation. Maybe you have said at some point, you know what, I'm going to learn how to control my emotions after seeing maybe what your parents went through and what you went through as a child, saying, I'm not going to repeat that experience. I'm going to do my best to remain calm and make strong decisions without being run by my emotions. The Temperance energy is talking about having the patience to be on your destined path. This energy is, a lot of people consider this to be the Earth Angel energy. So the Earth Angel energy is having the patience to stay on your destined path. This is called the Path of Glory. We have the sun at the top here. And so that's representing God's energy. And this person, it's saying you're using your own alchemy, bringing that into the universal pool, and then grounding that onto earth. So look at where her left foot is. She's already created a beautiful 2 flowers here. And so it's talking about, how temperance is when you control your emotions, basically. And in the Bible, it talks quite a bit about temperance and about how important it is to be able to control your temper. And then we have the Tower. So the Tower, I feel like if God was not temperate, we'd be in a lot more trouble right now. I think there's a lot of patience out there right now with the way the world is just so, with all the information coming in, I just think we see so much of it that it's really easy for us to, get kind of overwhelmed by all the information and wondering what's real and what's not anymore. And that's what this card is about, because the Tower is when you're, there's something happening, but you can't see it. And the universe is trying to tell you, hey, you need to pay attention to your intuition. It's really important. There's something going on here, and you need to know about it. And so at first the universe whispers, and then the next thing it's the frying pan treatment, whack over the head, hey, dude, you need to pay attention. but you still don't get it. So then the 2x4 comes out, and then after that comes out the lightning striking the tower. So the tower never hits at an opportune time. There is no opportune time for a tower. The tower is like, look at, it's, the castle is on fire. It's going to have to be rebuilt. The people are falling out of it. One of them is shocked. The other one is like, oh man, I knew I should have taken care of this sooner. So this is talking about, you know, not, this is a reality check, and it's a harsh one usually. Having said that, if you're on the right side of the law here with the Hierophant, it's saying that it's in your favor if you've been on the right side of the law, because you're going to, you need to know the truth to be able to make strong choices in your life. And if you haven't been on the wrong side of the law, well, this is going to straighten you out in some way or another, because you're going to be hit with the reality of your actions, basically. And this is in your daily routine, habits, etc. This is creativity, romance, and children. So I feel like, you know, this energy is talking about staying calm, staying, that you do have a lot of potential here. This is a new cycle coming in. So we have to realize that maybe we're going to make a few more mistakes than usual, because the energy, I feel this is talking about the energy of the world. Basically, let's take a look at what the external forces are. I'm going to take it from the bottom of the deck. And oh no, we have this guy. So we have the devil energy. Yeah, so the devil is talking about temptation. Temptation is, we can all fall into temptation. On this card here, we have two lovers, and they are yoked to each other, and they're chained to Saturn's box. This energy, I feel, is coming from this here. It's just talking that someone gave into temptation here, and this is talking that, like, with the devil hunched over them on Saturn's box like this, it's talking about this not being love as much as it's lust. And so this is talking about giving into lustful energy. And, now the devil is haunched there because it's talking about basic animal instinct. So let's see, whenever the devil card comes up, I always cover him with another card, because I want to see who does he send in to be his minion. The devil doesn't do his own dirty work. And then we're going to find out, maybe does God cover it? What's going on here? We have a Page of Pentacles coming in. So the pages would work for the king and the queen at a very young age. 7 to 14 generally is when they started, depending on how mature they were. You have to remember back then the life expectancy is like half of what it is now. So the page, there's 4 of them, and they each have their own element. And this is the pentacle energy again. This is about learning the give and take in life. And there's some sort of information coming in about this energy. The pages would, their job would be communication and doing small tasks and errands. And when they became older, if, around 21, they became an adult, they could possibly be considered for knighthood if they suited it and they could afford to buy their own horse. So this is talking about that energy coming in. This can represent sometimes someone, like there's the 7 to 14 and then the 21. And so this could represent some information coming in from someone that you knew back in elementary school, high school, going to college, beginning university, starting out in the workforce under the age of 21. And so this could be someone definitely within that time frame. This could be how old you were when the information's about that energy. It could be maybe you haven't seen this person for 7, 14, or 21 years, but this definitely is talking about some energy that goes way back. And so this is the external forces coming in. There's some talk coming through. There's some communication coming through. I feel it's about this 9 of Pentacles. We don't have any other pentacles here. Generally, if you're asking, okay, why did the tower hit? Basically, it was because of lust and money. And it's interesting because on June 9th, and it's the 11th, or no, it's the 11th today. So the 11th, the energy is talking about, 2 days ago, Venus joined Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, and it hasn't been there for 30 some years. A lot of astrologers are saying it's the luckiest day of the year for love and money. So let's see what happens here, because we got the devil sitting on this energy here. We have some information about lifestyle and pentacles. Now, there's 10 pentacles in the tarot available. So this would be like 9 of Pentacles would be multimillionaire energy. So there's a lot of coin here. So a lot of lifestyle, and we do have love, but not in the way we have someone wanting to offer a cup of love. Now, is this romantic love? I'm not sure, because this is sometimes can represent paternal energy, like from your bloodline, from your father, your grandfather, great-grandfather, maybe uncles from that side of the family, male cousins from that side of the family. And this energy is talking about some communication coming in, about some pentacles from, I feel like this has been in the making for a while, is what I'm getting. So why is the devil coming in? Because it's about pentacles. That's what the temptation is. And yes, and look at this, we have a shortfall here. So this energy is talking about, I mean, it is lifestyle, but this particular card is talking about the 3 different stages of making money. Like when you're in the internal forces, you have control over your internal forces, and you can tell it's coming from within, because you'll be asking questions like, what if this happens? Or what if that happens? What if they do this? Then what am I going to do? It's that type of energy. What if I get caught? If you're hanging out with the devil. And so this energy is saying there could have been a shortfall somewhere. And this is talking about the 3 stages of making money. So this is saying that you do have a strong foundation, like you know how to make money, but you're making enough to make your payments, etc. But you don't have much to play with, like to reach your heart's desires or your crown and glory. Your crown and glory is when you get into this kind of energy where you're on your life path. This is pre-empress, so it's someone that knows their path, is on it, and they are dedicating their energy in that direction. I'm not giving into temptation, not getting sidetracked, by all these other energies here. And this is talking about sometimes about definitely needing to leave your comfort zone, or being forced to, basically. This can be about the energy leaving the city where you're from, where you are now. So sometimes this can indicate you physically moving, especially, I guess, if your tower is on fire. And this can also represent maybe in the past being too careful and not taking some calculated risks to get into the next level of pentacle energy out of a fear of losing everything. And I feel like when you fear something, that's when you tend to attract it. And I feel like this is representing this energy here. And then, let's see, we have disappointment in love. So yeah, this is that 3rd cup energy again. I feel we have 3 cups here, 2 of these, and then a 3rd party. And sometimes this can, with this Empress energy, pre-Empress energy, she's said to be pregnant with possibility, and sometimes it can actually represent a pregnancy. So there could have been like a 4th cup of love coming in, and that could be from a baby, but not necessarily, from the couple. And so that could be very disappointing. This can also represent the energy of 3 people, or 1 person, asking for, you've given them 3 chances. That could be romantic. This could be a friend, family member, anyone really, like business partner, someone that you've given 3 chances to, and they failed you every time. And now they're asking for a 4th chance. And you're like, no, 3 strikes, you're out. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. And then there's, it could also represent like doing your best to launch something, and it's just not taking off like you want it to. And like getting kind of like really discouraged and disappointed. It's something you love to do and you feel passionate about it, but it's just not, it seems like no one else cares about it. So it's like very, very challenging. And the universe is saying, give it one more go. And you're like, oh, I'm so disappointed. I don't think I can. Like my heart hurts, you know. I don't want to have to be disappointed again. I don't know if I can handle it. And, you know, they say God doesn't give you more than you can handle, so you can handle it. And also, it could be saying you maybe just need to tweak things a little bit and do them in a slightly different way, like we were talking about at the beginning. And look, we do have the King of Pentacles here. So the King of Pentacles, the thing about the King of Pentacles is this is someone who's really admired for their business acumen because they've been really successful. And quite often they'll be like in the banking industry, you know, they're into the finances, the lifestyle. If they are in working in a bank, they're probably going to be a manager level or higher. This energy can also talk about, you know, accountants, wealth management, financial advisors, insurance, you know, retirement planning, those kinds of individuals. And they would probably be most likely to be a partner in an established firm. And this can also represent, because it's the element of earth, it definitely can represent real estate, whether that be residential or commercial. And it's talking about maybe land developers, builders, contractors, you know, real estate agents. This could be residential or commercial real estate. It would be someone who has an established business in that. There could also be, this could represent a very successful entrepreneur, the head financial advisor of a corporation or of a country, you know. And so this is talking about high level financial energy and also having lifestyle because of it. Now, the king has grapes all over his robe, because grapes in tarot represent that, you know, grapes are hard to grow. And this is saying that this is someone that is able to grow things that are hard to grow and make them work. But the thing is about that you have to watch with the King of Pentacles is sometimes he can be very set in his way and will be the last one to adjust this ability to, you know, adapt to the change. The King of Cups is much more likely. And isn't it interesting, again, that June 9th energy, we have the Cup of Love coming in and all of these Pentacle energy as well. There's a lot of Pentacle energy in this reading. And you're Aquarius, so there's not one sword here. Like, where are you, Aquarius? You're on a business mission, I feel. I feel like your mind is on your lifestyle. Your mind is on how to get the lifestyle that you want. And then we have another pentacle energy. So this is talking about having to juggle pentacles at this time, possibly. It can be lifestyle choices, juggling two lifestyles. It can be, you know, being really super busy, like multitasking at a very high level. And that energy can get really stressful. You can see we have a small ship on a smaller wave, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and the ships get bigger. And so this can be talking about, you know, you can be multitasking to the point where it gains momentum, and then you're almost just being busy just to be busy. And it's also talking about juggle your options, but don't juggle your morals, which someone here, clearly this energy, you can see even the anatomy of it. I feel there could be a child here on top of everything else. So that could be why you are multitasking to make a lot of money. But this is the external forces coming towards you. Now, and this can be talking just about how you're handling these external forces. So handling this disappointment. So your partner might have stepped out, or you could be in regret for having done so. This energy could be talking about, you know, business partner or something like that. And maybe there's been a shortfall because this is partnerships, commitments, and spouse energy. There's a shortfall here. And there's a disappointment in love, but that's in the transition state. This could be business transition as well. This is about having higher learning now, like the King of Pentacles, but it's not going to do you as much good in this new energy of Neptune going into Aries if you don't adapt to that change, because then you're going to be, like it's saying, don't be so set in your ways that you can't juggle your options a little bit, but that doesn't mean you should juggle your morals. And then we have the Three of Pentacles energy. So the Three of Pentacles is saying, yes, you're in an elevated position and you definitely are being noticed by other people. But I feel like this energy for sure is saying you made maybe a choice to work with people that and collaborate with people that are not it's not the lifestyle you found. This is not the lifestyle that I want to live. And it's very money driven. There's a lot of temptation here. This can quite often represent secret society energy. It can talk about signing, like you may have signed a contract that was, you know, you were promising and they could see you have a lot of talent and then they're using your talent. But this energy is not in alignment with the lifestyle or the person that you want to be. And that quite often is the case with secret society energy. Secret society energy, that could be like a bazillion different energies like out there. It could be cults, it could be your church, it could be like the rules. Like this is talking about the group rules and rituals mattering more than any individual. And they take it very seriously. There's some secret societies out there that you know, this is dangerous energy. If you don't, if you sign that contract or agreement and then you don't stick to it, they have their methods of getting people to stick to it. Like, and quite often that can be about, you know, ostracizing people, like alienating people from the rest of society, basically. Like there's enough of them gang up together to do so. It can really have a negative effect on your career and reputation, because they're usually like you know, the group energy is very strong and they take it like it's an energy. It's really rampant in entertainment industry, you know, actors, actresses, musicians. We're seeing that all over the news here. Like it's just different groups that, you know, you go in it innocent and then you find out, oh, there was a clause in the contract that I didn't notice. Yeah, and that's, you know, that's what could be happening, because this is in your blessings, but you're not feeling blessed right now. You're feeling like you're not, like whatever the push, what is that? The push, when it, not the push and pull so much, but when the push comes to shove, it's like they're shoving and you're like, you're scared. Like this is talking about not having the resources to push back, I feel. And then this is the energy of, yeah, there's only two ways that this can be, their way or your way. This way or that way. This is someone who is not using their intuition. They, you know, it's a blindfold on, and this is also talking about being drained of your energy. This is very draining. Finally, we have your energy, the sword energy coming through, Aquarius. And so this is basically saying that you're, now it's interesting because this is coming from the external forces. So this energy could be you're in a group and they're doing, and you're part of this group, or you're the one they're doing it to. Or you signed up with them kind of energy. Well, I guess you would either way. But so it's either this or that, my way or the highway. And you can see from the body language with the feet turned out, this is draining masculine and feminine energy from the base chakra. And it's also, you're feeling vulnerable in your heart energy. And I do feel this is your energy because this is the only element of air here. And then we have also the, the right arm is over the left arm, and this is logic holding back your intuition. And we do have the new moon out here. The new moon is on the 14th, and I want to mention that. It's in the sign of Gemini, and it's a very logical moon, and it's about actually being able to have a lot of opportunities to commit to your own personal views. So this is really good to see this here. And also improving communication. And, you know, Mercury at the end of June is going into retrograde. I'm not doing a separate new moon energy for Gemini because there's not a whole lot happening until Mercury goes into retrograde. There were so many astrological influences from the beginning of the year till now. It's like, yay, finally we're kind of getting a little bit of a breather here because there's been some big planets made big shifts, and there's some more to come, but it's very much this energy. And so the new moon in Gemini is talking about this struggle between logic and intuition. And it's also Gemini is very logical, and across the horoscope wheel from Gemini is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is more about intuitive energy. So it's about you needing to use both to come to a creative solution for this issue. And it's, you know, needing to use your third eye as well as, you know, your physical eyes. There's a saying, because you have eyes, you cannot see. And so this Gemini Sagittarius energy is, you know, logic and intuition combined is the best way to go. And also Gemini, Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini about a month ago. And Uranus in Gemini, basically, it hasn't been there since 1941 to 1949. And so that was during World War II energy. So, you know, it's quite, but the bottom line, I mean, you can go back and look at some of the readings that I did around the end of April, the beginning of May, the end of May, the beginning of June. I've been talking about this quite a bit because Gemini is going to, or Uranus is going to be in Gemini for the next, let's see, 7.5 to 8 years, so 2033. And bottom line is Uranus in Gemini wants the truth to come out, period. And it will come out, the truth is coming out. So that's the good news. You know, the truth will come out. The truth always sets you free. It could be very uncomfortable. This Gemini moon coming up could intensify that energy. And because you're ruled by Uranus, you are feeling this energy quite intensely right now. You might be feeling kind of like this push-pull, push and shove kind of energy. That's what I'm picking up. Should I go this way or should I go that way? And then, you know, one day you're feeling this way and the next day you're feeling the other. I'm going to clarify this. If you're leaving the reading now, thank you for your time and energy and your likes and comments, subscribes. I really do appreciate them. They help me build my channel. I'm going to clarify with my oracle, Tales from the Vector. And this is an oracle I started back in 2007. The numbers on these cards represent the energy or the numbers of... Stella, stop it. Go on. You're being a pain. She wants me to feed her. I thought I did, but I forgot to before I did the reading. She'll survive for another 10 minutes. All right, so we want the numbers on these cards represent the paintings in the gallery on my website. And that's talesfromthevector.com. I'll put the information in the box below. The order that they come up here, in the order here, I will put them in there, so down below. And I will also put the information from my website. If you want to check the paintings out, it might give you further clarity. All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune is turning. This is usually saying things are going to get better. This energy is going to change. And that, even if it doesn't change, like the weird thing about this Gemini and Uranus energy is it can be very kind of unexpected changes in different ways, kind of this tower energy. But every day it's been like that. Just the weirdest things happening. If you go online and you see like the weirdest things happening, you're just shaking your head and going, what? And we have the Justice energy coming in. So we have... definitely, this is about justice with the Hierophant. This can be redemption from karma. Now, a lot of people feel like karma is like punishment, but karma is actually cause and effect from your actions or your inactions. So this is talking about the tower. And look at, we have that. The Hierophant comes in when this tower hits. And look at what's on here. We have Cancer. And so this is talking about that energy of that just happened on June 9th, love and money. And the Wheel of Fortune is a Sagittarius energy. This is ruled by Jupiter. So, hey, that's like saying you still, like, you know, don't panic like now, like don't give up, don't, you know, give in or whatever it is. I feel like that push and pull energy again. And then attachment is talking about, it's a karmic space. So, and look at it, it's saying what's yours is mine and what's mine is mine. And that's why you're so sad. So this group energy, they may have promised a lot, but they were really looking out for their own needs and using other people to get to what they want. This energy is talking about, and in business, like that's not uncommon. I mean, that's what corporations do. I mean, they have to answer to, the corporations are meant to make money, and so you have to understand that. So this energy can be talking about, you know, that sort of energy, you know, that you know, you need to really look over contracts and agreements before you agree to them. And then also making sure that you have any contracts checked by a lawyer so that you can, you know, make sure that it's a solid contract and there's not, you know, things in there that later you find out about and you're like totally shocked. We have the guidance star. So this is wanting to follow your divine path for sure. It's talking about that here. And this is on that desire for transition in this energy. And we have the lovers. So I do feel like there is some energy coming in here about, it doesn't necessarily have to be about your partner, but it's definitely someone that's in your inner circle. And like the Lovers card originally was about the people that you choose to associate with. And it also evolved into this. So it could be both, or it could be even, I'm picking up an energy of the people that your partner associated with. And it could be also this third party energy, I feel, that came into the relationship. We have the Scorpio energy, and this is talking about elevating, or are you going to conquer? So it's about having temperance, like having patience, and like, you know, elevating your energy by prayer and meditation, and calming your emotions down, like not acting out of anger or fear, like not being really impulsive. And then we also have this Cancer energy, which I do feel is talking about the moon, or the energy of Jupiter and Venus in that sign of Cancer for the first time in how, you know, the lucky day energy, which the Wheel of Fortune is saying. And we have transition from this energy. So this is good. So we have a lot of transition coming in if you use your intuition. And then we have the Hierophant energy. Hierophant again, so like this is just confirming. And the Hierophant is coming in, and it has something to do with your commitments, partnerships, and associations with people. So that, you know, it could be, you know, and involving traditional structure, that quite often could be talking about your spouse, and also the, you know, like religious groups, or maybe, you know, secret society energy, whatever that is. And then we have anger. And so this is a karmic space we can fall into. Yeah, we could sit under that tree and be angry and disappointed for the rest of our life, but it's kind of a shame to do so, because, you know, anger is the gift that keeps on giving. And so angry parents raise angry children, and then they raise angry children. But by the time you get down to a few generations later, it's like, why are we angry again? You know, no one remembers that great grandmother was pissed off one day and did this, you know? This is talking about opening your heart and like having to heal from this energy to be able to care. Like it's saying basically you have to open up your heart to yourself. You have to care enough about yourself to heal from this energy so that you can move forward in a strong way. And it also, I feel, is talking about falling and failing in love is a matter of I. That's the saying on this card. And that I feel that's just because you know, have to look at, okay, what can I do differently now rather than just what happened in the past. If you learn from it, you're going to be better off. We do have the courage to be able to face this. And it does take courage to look at your shadow side and move forward, you know, and say, okay, this is what I'm going to have to do then. We have the insight. So making sure that you use that third eye energy. And this is talking about, like, if your gut's telling you, like, this is a really good offer, but there's something about it that doesn't feel right, then don't take it, you know. Listen to your intuition and your insight, or at least tell them, give me 24 hours and I'll get back to you, so that you can, you know, make strong choices that aren't like, that that you're making impulsively or feeling like that push and pull energy again is what I'm feeling. And then we have the surrender. So I feel like this is talking also about ancestral energy. And so this can be talking about like kind of leftover business from when you were younger, like this energy here. This could represent some sort of, there we go. This could represent some sort of inheritance that maybe you don't know about. And maybe that's something like that is coming in, and that will get you out of this energy here. Okay, so I do hope that this has been of value to you. Give it a like and comment if you have enjoyed the reading, and also I really do appreciate your subscribes. And I'm up. I just hit the 300 mark, woohoo, today. So I feel like that's really good. I'm really happy about that. It's just my channel's a little bit different from a lot of tarot reading channels. So I understand it might, it's definitely not, my channel's definitely not for everyone. Like, it's a different way of reading the cards in many ways. All right, and I will be back with another reading for you soon. Bye for now, Aquarius. Oh, now you're being a good girl.